morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of VUnion. So today, we need to talk about some really interesting news that is really interesting and that we have very little information about, but we can certainly start making some guesses. I know. You see, a trademark has gone and been registered over in Japan to the Pokémon company. And this trademark, it's all to do with games and toys, etc. And the trademark is VUnion. Now, we talked about trademarks before, and we generally cover ones which we think are related to the trading card game. There is absolutely no way whatsoever this is not related to the trading card game. Now, essentially, this is for toys and games, including TCGs, etc. But the fact that it's VUnion tells us very, very clearly that this is all to do with the Pokemon trading card game. Because, of course, we've got Pokemon V that are around at the moment, and we've got Pokemon V Max that are around at the moment. And you'll notice the V on VUnion in the trademark here is exactly the same as the V used for Pokemon V and Pokemon V Max. For anyone that's wondering, a trademark is basically a distinguishing mark that you use to show that it is your product, your thing. So you register these so someone else cannot make VUnion cards in other card games. It makes perfect sense. You do this in order to protect yourself, so you don't end up with Digimon or Final Fantasy having VUnion cards in the future, so when people see VUnion cards, they know that they are Pokemon. So, of course, the downside, so to speak, if you want to try and keep your information secret, is that you have to register this trademark before you start using it, because as soon as you start using it, if you haven't registered it, someone else can use it, and that is, shall we say, a rather bad thing for you. Okay, so the question then becomes, well, what does VUnion mean? And let's be perfectly clear, we don't know. We have a trademark. But I like to think at this stage, and I've been doing this for a while, both in terms of speculating on news and just generally playing and following the Pokemon trading card game, and I like to think I can make some pretty good guesses. Now, first thing you need to understand with VUnion, and I think this is the one thing we can say with absolute certainty, it is a new type of Pokemon V. I think that stands to reason. In the same way that Mega EXs were a new type of EX, and VMAXs were also a new type of V, this is going to be a new type of V. If it was a brand new thing, completely unrelated to everything that we'd seen before, well, it would have a new name now, wouldn't it? Prism Star Pokemon were unrelated to everything we'd seen before, so we get them as just a new card called Prism Star. There's nothing else coming along here. Here, we've got a new type of Pokemon V. Now, that in and of itself is kind of interesting because, of course, in Sword and Shield 5, we have basically been told that we are getting a new type of Pokemon V. We are getting Single Strike and Rapid Strike Pokemon V. Now, these very, very much seem to be related to Urshifu, given that the two forms of Urshifu are Single Strike and Rapid Strike. And although we don't know, it seems extremely likely that these are going to be, well, essentially kind of like ancient traits were. So I popped Primal Groudon on the screen a moment ago. Primal Groudon had the Omega Barrier ancient trait, which stops effects of, well, trainer cards done to this Pokemon. So in the same way that ancient traits had a few different types and Pokemon could have one of those types, that seems to be what's happening with Single Strike and Rapid Strike. I've not actually given a prediction, but I'm assuming Rapid Strike can attack twice and Single Strike can boost their attack power, quite possibly only once during the game or something along those lines. That would be my prediction. I've not got it out there yet, so I figure now's a good time to do so. And of course, it's only been a couple of weeks since we had a look at a different card name that was trademarked, that being Pokemon V-Star. And I did a nice little prediction video on what Pokemon V-Star actually are. And the answer is, well, that one, well, we don't know. It was a week ago. Having said that, with Pokemon V-Star, we didn't even have a logo. Could VUnion be the new version of V-Star, and V-Star's never going to be seen? Maybe. I rather suspect they're going to be different. Of course, if we do have Vs, V-Maxes, V-Stars, V-Unions, Single Strike and Rapid Strike, that is a lot that could get kind of confusing, but we can only go on the trademarks that have been filed and the information that's been given out. So with all of that said, in terms of the other things we are expecting in the near future, and you know that as soon as they are officially revealed, there will be a video on this channel showing you all about it. But I will say, we have some ideas about what this might actually mean, and I think we've got some pretty good predictions here. Now, one thing to point out, and actually, massive shout out, a bunch of people got in touch with me to make sure I'd seen this news. I've said this many times before, and hopefully I'll say it many times again, because you people will keep having me back. Thank you so much to everyone that ever gets in touch. I don't care if I've seen the news or not. I don't care if I've made a video or not. Anytime anybody gets in touch with me to make me aware of something that I may or may not be aware of, you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. So, the VUnion here, it is clearly the joining together of Pokemon. That's what union means. Marriage is a union between two people. VUnion, it's got to be a union between two Pokemon V. That is the only logical explanation here. Now, on the one hand, this sounds like Tag Team Pokemon. This sounds a lot like Tag Team Pokemon. But it might not be. Now, of course, Tag Team Pokemon we've seen for a little while now. You got the example of Blastoise and Piplup on the screen. Those cards have two Pokemon printed on them, occasionally free, and they give up free prizes when KO'd. They had HP of around 270-ish, and they had GX attacks like Pokemon GX that were once per game. Now remember, Pokemon V don't have any actual mechanics associated with them, other than the fact that Vs give up 2 prizes and V Maxes give up 3. So I think it's fair to assume that VUnion will not have any new mechanics associated with them. Tag Team GXs had to have GX attacks, because GXs did, but Pokemon V don't have anything here. So we could literally just see a pair of Pokemon on a card giving up 3, maybe even 4 prizes, but that's asking quite a lot. What I would like to see is an actual combination of 2 cards in play. Now, if you go back to the Heart Gold Soul Silver base set, and hopefully, well, it depends. If there's lots of news, it won't be, but if not, over on Sunday on this channel, I am going to be showing you a history video about Heart Gold Soul Silver. And we had Legend cards, like Entei Raikou Legend, although that wasn't in the base set of Heart Gold Soul Silver. It came a set or 2 later. But basically, these were cards that had a couple Pokemon on, and they gave up a couple of prizes, and you had to play both of them from your hand at the same time. I would like it so if you had 2 Pokemon in play, you could essentially combine them. Now, as we finish off the video here, we are getting into Crown Tundra spoilers. There is absolutely no way, and you'll see why in a moment if you continue watching the video, which I hope you choose to. You'll see why it is impossible for me to continue this video without giving you Crown Tundra spoilers. So, you have been warned. There are Crown Tundra spoilers coming. If you don't want to know about that, you've heard my predictions as far as you can. Thank you very much for watching. Look after yourselves till next time. If, however, you want to continue watching, spoilers coming, this is clearly Calyrex. I feel extremely confident that this is the way in which Calyrex is going to come into the Pokemon trading card game. VUnion to me seems to be Calyrex mixed with either Glastria or Spectria. And I did give this fact in a previous video, but I have to tell you again, Spectria in German is literally called Phantoros, and that makes me extremely happy indeed. And of course, if you played the game, you'll know that when you catch Calyrex, it's Calyrex riding on one of these Whittle horses. So as far as I'm concerned, this makes way too much sense. And I know I'm not the only one that's made this prediction. The lovely Joe from Cerebi.net, I know, did make this prediction to me and some other people. But I do think this is absolutely, and this was my first thought with VUnion, because we know Calyrex is coming in the near future, and I'm willing to bet Joe and myself are not the only people that have made this prediction. But it makes way too much sense not to be true. My prediction in terms of the mechanic is exactly what I said a minute ago generally with VUnion. I think you need to get Spectria V and Calyrex V down, and then there is some mechanic to join them together. Whether that is just an ability on the cards, that as soon as they're both in play you can join them, whether it's a trainer card, supporter or item that needs to be played, whether there's a stadium card that does it, I don't exactly know. Having said that, there are, of course, items in the game, which would make perfect sense here, that you could use as an item card to join them. And given Pokemon in the past, I would imagine that it would be you have both of them in play and play a particular item card and then they get joined. I can't tell you for certain this is what VUnion means, but I can tell you for certain it's a new type of Pokemon V. I can tell you that Union means joining together, and I can tell you that we are waiting and looking to see how Calyrex is brought into the Pokemon TCG. I do believe it is going to be a mechanic that joins two Pokemon V together. Whether they are old Pokemon V or only work on new types, I cannot tell you. And I do believe that Calyrex makes way too much sense to not be included. So there's my prediction for VUnion, but I would love to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.